There's a new Congresswoman, Ilhan Omar. She is Muslim, one of the first two I think we have in Congress. And she's apologized. She's under a lot of fire because she was talking about the Jewish lobby, AIPAC, and she said it's all about the Benjamins. Now, I probably don't agree with her a lot about what she feels about Israel and Palestine, but I don't know why this has to be seen as anti-Semitic. Now, she may be anti-Semitic, but if I criticize Saudi Arabia, that doesn't mean I'm Islamophobe. And yes?
No, it depends how. I mean, there are things you could say about Saudi Arabia that would make people raise their eyebrows a little bit. If you say if it's a repressive oligarchic regime that plunders its people, then you're saying a factual thing. There are jokes or remarks you could make. There are things you could say that would be demeaning or slighting. I have to say, though, I think one of the things that maybe Congresswoman Omar got lucky with is that by starting this controversy, she was able that we are not paying attention to the fact that she was defending the brutal, authoritarian, corrupt, kleptocratic regime of Venezuela and opposing American action to try to bring a resolution to this terrible humanitarian crisis, and which she was articulating there. And I think one of the reasons that her party took such a firm line against her was something that is just outside the realm of American politics, which you would think would encourage the rise of a democratic Venezuela.
And by the way, your description of Venezuela could apply to Hamas in Gaza.
Right. Applies to a lot of places. I mean, one of the things I think we are, as we enter this new century, we carry around with us, especially those of us who are a little bit older, a mental map formed in a different time. And we use terms of left and right that don't apply, that there are gangster governments. And sometimes, as in Venezuela, they use language that resonates with left-wing people. And sometimes, as in Russia, they use language that resonates with more conservative people. They're the same. The world order is increasingly one of gangster versus non-gangster governments. Governments organized around stealing and governments organized around the rule of law. And those governments that are organized on the rule of law all have a lot more in common with any, despite whatever language or slogans they use. And so I just implore people, there are people on the show who, are going back into the ancient past and say, I have to feel, because I'm a progressive person, and Maduro and Hugo Chavez before him say things that sound like they resonate with me. I have to overlook the massive amount of fraud and stealing and violence and now death squads that are appearing in Venezuela. Don't be conned.
But I think as progressives, we should also speak up for human rights for Palestinians. And I think for too long, I think it's been out of bounds for progressives to speak up for the rights of Palestinians. And I don't know about Venezuela, so I won't talk about it. But I think it is a progressive point of view to speak up for the human rights of Palestinians.
How is the Palestinian issue is in your mind and the Venezuelan issue is not? I mean, that says something about what has happened to progressive politics. Well,
it's the things that get talked about in American media more. Like I just haven't read that much about Venezuela, but Israel and Palestine have been talked about for decades in this country, so we're more educated on it.
Wish we had more time.